Have you ever felt like your day starts before you're even ready for it? Why do some people remain calm while others react to every little thing? And if there's a door to inner stillness, would you open it the moment you wake up? Tikas. Morning. The gateway to self-mastery each morning is a new beginning. A door opens before the world rushes in. In that fragile moment when the first light is gentle, when your mind hasn't been pulled into the chaos yet, you hold an immense power, the power to choose how to live. This isn't about picking what to eat or what task to tackle first. It's an intentional act, choosing awareness over urgency, calm over reactivity, self-mastery over letting the world dictate your day. The Stoics knew this. They didn't leap into work as if chased by time. They paused, breathed, and asked, "How will today challenge me?" Then they prepared with clarity, discipline, acceptance, and wisdom. Today, modern science confirms what we do in the morning shapes how our brain and emotions respond throughout the day. When ancient wisdom meets neuroscience, we're handed a powerful map, a blueprint to start our day with strength and clarity. In today's video, I'll walk you through 10 Stoic morning practices. Not to become someone else, but to return to who you truly are. Centered, calm, and ready for whatever the day brings. After starting your day with awareness, the next step on the Stoic path is learning how to master your emotions, a skill that determines whether you react or respond. Accepting and controlling emotions, strength through awareness. Stoic philosophy doesn't tell us to suppress emotions. It doesn't promote coldness or detachment. On the contrary, Stoicism recognizes that emotions are natural, but how we respond is always a choice. Anger, frustration, or sadness can arise from a careless comment, a misunderstanding, or even a gloomy day. But Stoicism reminds us we are not ruled by emotions if we are aware enough to see them clearly. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This isn't just advice, it's a mental roadmap for navigating daily life. The world may throw you challenges, loss, or injustice, but only you decide whether those things control your emotions, or whether you move through them with clarity and strength. Accepting your emotions isn't surrender. It's simply nodding to reality. Yes, I'm angry, I feel sad, I'm hurt. But now, what will I do with this feeling? When you face your emotions honestly instead of running or denying, you create a small space between stimulus and reaction. And in that space lies your greatest power. Let's return to a real-world example, a tense email. Someone ruled by emotion fires back instantly and regrets it. But someone with a stoic mindset pauses, breathes, and reads again. They see that the email's content is beyond control, but their response is not. That's where freedom begins. Emotional mastery is a skill built in everyday moments. A traffic jam, a missed meeting, harsh criticism. Each day, you can ask, what can I control today? The answer is always my thoughts, my reactions, my actions. Stoicism doesn't erase who you are. It helps you become a stronger, more accountable version of yourself. When you view emotions as passing signals and shift focus to your behavior, you stop being a victim and become the guide of your own mind. So tomorrow morning, instead of asking, what will happen today, ask, how will I choose to respond to whatever happens? That simple question can change your day, and over time, change your life. Remember, emotions are not the enemy, they're signals. You don't need to erase them, just learn to guide them. When you do, you are living fully in the Stoic spirit, calm, centered, and ready for whatever storm may come. But if emotions are not your enemy, then what about failure? Once you stop seeing emotions as the enemy, you're ready to face something harder: failure. Learning from pain and failure. When the obstacle becomes the way, one of the most iconic Stoic phrases comes from Marcus Aurelius in Meditations. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. What feels like a setback today, yesterday's mistake, this morning's rejection, or an old wound, might become the very path forward if you're brave enough to face it and learn. You don't have to be a Roman emperor or a billionaire to live by this truth. You just need to start today. Ask yourself, what has failure taught me? If you shift from thinking, I've failed, to I'm learning to succeed, then you're living in the spirit of Stoicism. Not by avoiding emotions, but by turning them into motivation. Not by lying to yourself, but by facing reality and moving forward. This morning, while sipping your coffee or commuting to work, remind yourself, I've failed before, and because of that, I've learned something new. Today, I'm a little stronger. You don't need huge leaps, just a firmer step than yesterday. A perfect example is Arianna Huffington. Her first book was rejected by 36 publishers, enough to discourage anyone. But instead of giving up, she used rejection as a push to improve. Later, when she founded the Huffington Post, critics dismissed it. She didn't react with anger, she responded with consistent improvement. And eventually, it became one of the most influential platforms in the world. Stoicism teaches us, failure doesn't define you, how you respond does. When your plan falls apart, a Stoic doesn't ask, why me? They ask, what can I learn from this? That small mental shift leads to a big life transformation. Whether you've lost a job, failed a test, ended a relationship, or made a serious mistake, you're always given a choice. Give up or grow. Like trees that grow stronger after storms. We grow when we allow pain to shape us, not stop us. Ask yourself, what led to this failure? Where was I unprepared? How can I improve next time? Those questions shift your mindset from reactive to proactive. Stoicism doesn't ask you to bury sadness or disappointment. It shows you how to turn them into stepping stones. So, after a failure, what will you do? Collapse, or rise, stronger, wiser, and clearer than yesterday. When you realize you're the one steering your mind and reactions, you discover a hidden strength that no one can take away. But how do you stay grounded in that strength? The answer lies in self-discipline. Self-discipline, the key to inner power. Once you understand that you decide your thoughts and actions, you're no longer a leaf tossed in the storm. You become the one holding the oar, navigating through life's chaos with intention. But let's be honest, self-control isn't easy, especially in a world engineered to steal your attention. Constant notifications, shallow invitations, fears, amplified by social media. And that's exactly why discipline becomes priceless. Every morning is a chance to say, today I choose conscious response. I will not be driven by emotion. Take a simple yet powerful example. Sam, a student preparing for a crucial exam. Sam doesn't wait to feel like it before studying. He makes a plan, divides his time, and sticks to it with focus. When distractions arise, social media, video games, he doesn't make excuses, he takes action. Sam silences his phone, clears his desk, and tells himself, I am responsible for my results, no one else. That small decision is a Stoic act, not letting yourself drift into old habits, but shaping your day through conscious control. Self-mastery doesn't mean being emotionless. Stoicism never teaches you to be cold. Quite the opposite. It invites you to see emotions clearly and respond with awareness, not impulse. When you feel anger, Stoicism doesn't ask you to hide it. It asks, Where will this emotion take me? Will it help or harm? That pause before reaction, that moment of awareness, is the first step toward true mastery. Once you live with accountability, every decision becomes a direction, forward or backward. You can snooze for 30 more minutes and regret it all day, or rise early, read a few pages, meditate, or simply enjoy your coffee in stillness. No one is forcing you, but your choice speaks volumes. I live with intention. That intention is what separates a meaningful day from a wasted one. Stoicism doesn't ask for perfection, it simply says, don't abandon yourself. Each morning, look into the mirror and ask, did I live by my values today? The answer doesn't need to be flawless. It just needs to be honest. So, if this message stirred something inside you, if you're longing for peace and inner strength, start now. No need to wait for the perfect moment. This moment is the beginning. When you've learned to be fully present in every small act, something greater begins to unfold. A meaningful day. Creating a meaningful day every morning is a fresh start. A blank page where you get to write the next chapter of your life. For those who live by Stoic philosophy, a new day isn't just hours to fill with tasks. It's a canvas to be painted with intentional actions, conscious thoughts, and choices aligned with one's true self. Stoicism doesn't advocate rigidity or lifeless routine. On the contrary, it promotes awareness and deliberate living. Planning. Your day, though it may sound practical, is one of the cornerstones of a meaningful life, because if you don't know where you're heading, every path will mislead you, and a day lived aimlessly becomes another brick in the wall of regret. Begin your morning with a moment of stillness, just like Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. This isn't mere gratitude, it's a call to arms, a reminder that waking up with awareness and choice is a sacred privilege not to be taken for granted. A meaningful day doesn't depend on how many free hours you have or how many tasks you complete. It starts with inner intention. How do you want to live today? What courage will you bring to your challenges? What will you hold on to? And what are you ready to release? A powerful example is James Stockdale, a US Navy officer held captive for 7 years in a Vietnamese POW camp. With no idea if he'd survive, he sustained his spirit through Stoic philosophy, especially the teachings of Epictetus. Each day, he upheld a survival plan to preserve his dignity, remain true to himself, and find meaning in suffering. He couldn't change the circumstance, but he chose his response, and that saved him. The lesson? A meaningful day isn't always easy. It's a day where you live your values. Maybe that means doing what's right without reward. Maybe it's listening instead of arguing, or acting instead of complaining. Each choice is a brushstroke on your day's canvas. When planning your day, prioritize what you can control: your attitude, your response, your effort. You can't change the length of the day, but you can change how you walk through it. Alongside planning, you need a clear-eyed optimism, or not blind hope, but grounded trust that you'll face whatever comes. Stoicism doesn't ask you to avoid hardship, but to embrace it as part of growth. At the end of the day, ask yourself, did I live rightly today? What can I improve tomorrow? It's not criticism, it's realignment. So make each day your masterpiece, shaped by Stoic values. Because a meaningful day isn't one where everything got done. It's one where you truly lived. We've walked through a morning of insight and clarity through Stoic wisdom, from mindful awareness to mastering what we cannot change. Now, if you're ready to go even further, continue this journey. Click the next video, it's already waiting for you, guiding you deeper into the strength and stillness within.